This video tutorial I will explain how to enable Sauger 2 and what is the use of Sauger. Sauger 2 is a open source project. Using that we can generate REST API documents for RESTful web services. And Sauger 2 provides a user interface to access our RESTful web services via the web browser. To enable Sauger 2 in Spring Boot application, we have to add Sauger 2 related JAWS dependencies. The first one is Spring Fox Sauger 2. The second one is Spring Fox Sauger UI. Here you can see Spring Boot application with folder structure. Here you can see the pom.xml. Here you can see employee table and it has two records. Here I have defined a class employee service controller, which is REST controller, and it has a create employee method which accept employee object. To call this method, we have to send request to this path, and method is post. This method is responsible for creating employee record in employee table, and it has update employee method which accept ID and employee object. And to call this method, we have to send request to this path. Here this ID is path variable, and method is put. This method is responsible for update the employee record in the employee table. And it has get employee method and it accept ID. To call this method, we have to send request to this path, and ID is the path variable, and method is get. And using this method, we can get one employee record from the employee table. And it has get employees method. To call this method, we have to send request to this path, and method is get. And using this method, we can get all the employees record from the employee table. And it has a delete employee method and it accept ID. To call this method, we have to send request to this path, and method is delete. Using this method, we can delete one employee record from employee table. Here I have defined a class application which is Spring Boot application. To enable Sauger 2, we have to add enable Sauger 2 annotation, and also we have to create Docker bean to configure Sauger 2 for our Spring Boot application, and also we have to define the base package to configure REST APIs for Sauger 2. I am starting the Spring Boot application. Spring Boot application is started in 8080 port. Here you can see the URL to access Sauger UI. Here you can see the API documentation generated by Sauger, and the model is employee model, and it has age, ID, name, and salary. The model class you can see here. Here you can see the API documentation for create an employee, update an employee, get an employee record, delete an employee record, and get all the employees record. To create an employee record, we have to send request to this path, and HTTP method is post, and when you send request to this path, create employee method of employee service controller will be called. And create employee method accept employee object. So we have to send employee object in JSON format. And possible responses are 200 OK, 201 created, 401 unauthorized, 403 forbidden, and 404 not found. To update an employee record, we have to send request to this path, and HTTP method is put. And when you send request to this path, update employee method of employee service controller will be called. Update employee method accept employee object. So we have to send employee object in JSON format, and it also accept ID. ID is the path variable. And here you can see the possible responses. 200 OK, 201 created, etc. To get an employee record, we have to send request to this path, and HTTP method is get. And when you send request to this path, get employee method of employee service controller will be called. And get employee method accept ID, which is path variable. Here you can see the possible responses. 200 OK with employee object model in JSON format, 401 unauthorized, etc. To delete the employee record, we have to send request to this path, and HTTP method is delete. When you send request to this path, delete employee method of employee service controller will be called. Delete employee method accept ID, which is path variable. And here you can see the possible responses. 200 OK, 204 no content, etc. To get all the employee records, we have to send request to this path, and HTTP method is get. And when you send request to this path, get employees method of employee service controller will be called. There is no parameter, and possible responses are 200 OK, 401 unauthorized, etc. Next, using Sauger UI, we will send create request. Click on try it out, and we will formulate the employee object in JSON format. Age 30, remove ID because it will be automatically generated. Name is Ram, and salary is 20,000. Parameter content type is JSON. Click on execute. And here you can see the output. Employee is created successfully with the primary key 18. And here you can see the response headers. Click on refresh, and here you can see one record is created. Next we will update the employee record. Click on try it out. ID we will give us 18. This record we are planning to update. And ages 50. Remove the ID which is not needed. Name as Dave. Salary 90,000. Content type is JSON. Click on execute. And employee is updated successfully. We got the response. Click on refresh. Here you can see this record is updated successfully. Next we will get the employee record. Click on try it out. ID we will give us 18. Click on execute. And here you can see the output. We got employee object in JSON format. Next we will get all the employee records. Click on try it out. There is no parameters. Click on execute. And we got array of employee objects in JSON format. Next we will delete the employee record. Click on try it out. ID is 18. Click on execute. And we got the response. Employee is deleted successfully. Click on refresh. And here you can see one employee record is deleted. Again I am going to send the delete request with the ID 18. Click on execute. And this time I got employee not found, because employee record with primary key 18 is not there in the employee table. You can get Java source code link for each video in the description section of the video. Here you can see the description section. Click on show more, and here you can see the Java source code links. Click on these links to get the Java source code.